Hi, and welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded lands where this conversation took place, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present, and to any First Nations people listening today. There's something very easy and generous about the way Reki Reinantha tells his story. He came to Australia from Indonesia as a high school student, began studying architecture, then slowly found himself pulled towards the kitchen and the pleasure of making people happy through food. Since then, his path has taken him through Japanese restaurants, major hospitality groups, pop-ups, setbacks, and eventually businesses of his own. Today, that includes Sachi, his seafood and sushi restaurant, built around the idea that exceptional Japanese food can be both highly skilled and genuinely accessible. Atsu, which has earned a loyal following for its fun katsu, skewers and highballs, and Common Cuts, a newer venture that applies his philosophy of quality and approachability to Melbourne's steakhouse scene. What stayed with me most was not the scale of what he's built. It was the way he talks about the people around him. The responsibility of leading a team and the very lovely belief that good things happen when you're surrounded by good people. Listening to Reki, it becomes clear that the restaurants are only part of the story. At the heart of everything he's created is a commitment to community, opportunity, and the relationships that make hospitality.
It's a very simple journey, like other immigrant, honestly. Came here to Western Australia first as a high school student from Indonesia. Lucky enough to have an opportunity to go for a scholarship, just a very small ones. And eventually I decided to study architecture. So I'm pretty sure at the time, or maybe even now, Melbourne is still one of the best to learn architecture in the world. And so I was lucky enough to got into university in Melbourne, in Monash University, before I actually left architecture degree to pursue cooking.
How did that come about?
Well, every time people ask me, I always say it's quite natural. My family from my dad's side, most of his sisters and brother are on hospitality journey somehow. Either they a baker or they open a small restaurant. So we always been told not to do hospitality because it's hard and it's demanding and you don't spend a lot of time with your loved ones most of the time. But there are other sides of hospitality that makes me want to pursue it. When I was still in architecture degree, I actually worked in takeaway restaurant. Obviously, when we were young, we already taught how to do basic cooking in my family. So I can do a little bit, like I'm not go there and then, I'm not going there and then like blind with like the tools and everything. I still able to cut some veggies. I can cook. I understand how to cook. I understand how to handle a little bit wok also. So I think at the time I was thinking instead of like working part-time in other restaurants, the other industry, I thought restaurant is the easiest one for me.
Yes.
And I think the moment came when I got into a position of line cook for the first time, and then for me to realize how instant it was to make people happy. I think, when I decided to go for architecture, I also thought of like, creating a space where people can enjoy, like can be immersed with the space to like with the form of design. And that's what I always like. And I love art as well in general. And when I see cooking, maybe this is cooking in particular, not hospitality first, I see how instant I can make people happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I think I enjoy this a lot. So I spoke with my dad, was not pleased about it, but I went for it anyway. I wanna prove to him that this decision is actually the best, for me, and I can make, or I can be the best for everyone as well with pursuing this way path. And went for cooking school and then work in the same time. And I think I've been very lucky throughout my 14, 15 years cooking career, working my way from takeaway shop until bigger establishment with Lucas restaurant as a
Yeah.
head chef in Kisume, and learn my way of understanding hospitality in general, like from takeaway until like semi-fine dining and obviously bigger establishment, doing like millions of dollars, of course.
Yes.
And I think the opportunity of doing that make me realize what I really want to do,
Yes.
and refer back to why I love hospitality in Melbourne. I feel like it's so natural. People just do it because they love it.
Yeah.
I think back in where I'm from, I don't want to say in all places in Indonesia, but maybe where I came from, people do it because the circumstances, like business or family or it's just, not particularly because they really love it, but whereas in Melbourne, I feel like it's a nice, how to say this, like a platform where you can just show that you really love this and you're able to do and you're able to be succeed about it for it as well. And when you are a young cook, you go to a lot of places, right? And then you see these small shops doing like specialty dishes, and you can feel the genuine, like hospitality, what they do. Some of the establishment in Melbourne that been open for like 20 years, that it makes me feel like, oh, I want to be one of them. I want to do something that I love with the people that I love, and yeah, showcase what is the best that we can offer. I think that's pretty much it. But I think my travel to Japan in my early years as a chef, in a way, has shaped on my decision why I made the restaurants that we open now.
I was going to ask
Yeah.
how you got into
Yeah.
cooking Japanese
Well-
food. Was Kusume your first Japanese
No.
cooking? No.
So during my entire career, I can say more than half I work in Japanese restaurant.
Right.
The first takeaway restaurant was Mexican, and then after that I went for Japanese restaurant, Japanese for I think 3 or 4 restaurants, and then went to a Greek restaurant for a bit, Italian for a bit. Even I worked at very brief period at Jewish cafe, like Israeli, like in Caulfield area, before I actually went to Kisume. And I'd say Kisume not super traditional, so it's actually good experience for me because I can say that is literally Australian restaurant using Japanese technique and sushi as well, of course.
What is it that you love about Japanese food or Japanese cooking?
I think they try to showcase the best of the ingredients without have to interfere with it. I think the discipline, of it, and how they really appreciate the natural flavor of the ingredients. I can see even some of the things that they do, even tempura, for example, even though tempura is not, like back in the history, it's not originally not traditionally made by Japanese, European influence, I believe. But the way they do it, they try to make sure that they can showcase the actual ingredients, like with the steaming process inside the tempura, and then the amazing produce in Japan as well. They can showcase that better. I feel like Japanese cuisine, they try to highlight the real flavor of the ingredients itself. I feel like, and because I'm from Indonesia, and my dream, when I was a young chef, is to eventually open Indonesian restaurant of my own.
All right.
I feel like if I learn how to do that, like how the Japanese do to their own cuisine, I feel like I can do the best of Indonesian cuisine
Oh, okay. Yeah.
in Melbourne. That's what I thought at first when I was young.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And so therefore I try to pursue like, working in Japanese restaurant. I feel like, oh yeah, this is how they do it differently. And then every now and then I cook at home and I try, like different method using like combining like Japanese method with like Indonesian method, and then try to see what's the difference. Obviously, at the end of the day, I realized that there's a reason why people back then do what they do, and now I understand how to showcase it better. Like obviously, we're not combining because everyone's different. Like the climate's different, the ingredients different. But back then, when I was young, I thought, maybe this discipline, is the one that's missing out. Because I always wonder why Indonesian cuisine in all around the world is not like as big as like Japanese cuisine or like now Thai cuisine. I always wonder, when I was a young chef, and I thought maybe the key is to learn these different cuisines, and I can see what's the best that I can take to implement in Indonesian cuisine. I think that's the very, very first reason why. And I thought Japanese cuisine, I think, the discipline and everything, I feel like, I can use it for that. That's what I thought.
Right. And then something shifted?
I think, when you grow as a chef, you understand there are always two sides, because now, after I can say I'm a former chef now, almost never been in the kitchen now.
Wow.
When you see it from two different point of view, a restaurant is also a business. So I can say that now I understand why why they don't change, or why they don't try to change the, how to say it, like the essential way to do it. There's so many reasons behind it, and I think when I first become business owner, I realized. So it's very recent, actually, when I realized. But I still feel like Japanese cuisine obviously hold the dearest in my heart, because I learned most of the basic cooking from Japanese kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think I've been very fortunate to learn from that point of view as well.
I was speaking to someone recently, Aaron Shembry, who's got Kadota in Dalesford, and he went and spent 10 months in Osaka learning from a master chef, and he was saying, that Japanese cuisine is one of those ones where you're just always learning, because in Japan they have masters of tofu or masters of rice or sushi or whatever, and they're always trying to do better and better and better. I feel like it's an unfolding cuisine with so much in it.
I think that's why I mentioned it before as well. Like in Japan, they just trying to get the best out of one ingredient, and that's amazing how they can respect that. They have to have so much respect towards that. It's amazing, and I think maybe if that's the reason why Japanese cuisine is one of the best in the world.
Yeah. How did you, or when did you know that you were ready to step out from working for someone else and to start your own place? It's a good question, actually. A lot of people have been asking me this, and I always not able to answer, because it's kind of like a question that I always thought similar to when are you ready to become a parent? You will never ready unless you try. Yeah.
It was my 6th to 7th year in Kisume at the time, and I had a friend of mine. He started his pop-up at a bar in Brunswick Street in Fitzroy, and we always catch up every week back then, and keep on like telling me on how like free he is to express what he wants to cook, in the same time able to get a lot of people that have the same thinking with him, and do it as a collective. And he said he always feel joy at the end of the day. You don't feel like you forced to do this. It feels like you really want to do it. And then somehow I think it comes to my head, and cause in terms of like entire cooking career, to compare with like all the best chefs in Melbourne, my career is maybe only half, compared to them. But at the time I was turning 30, recently just got married as well at the time. And then I had the trip to Sydney with my wife, and then I spoke to her about it. And I said, to think about it, if I try and failed, I can always go back to the workforce, Feel like this is the right time as well. And then my wife was like, if you're gonna be happy, because I can see that you feel pressured when you go home. It's big company, obviously. Maybe you can try. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I try. I will try. And then I meet with some people that want to invest in my idea at first. And then we shook hands. And then I sent my letter of resignation. And then after I sent my letter of resignation, after 3 weeks, they actually stepped out.
Oh no!
The investors stepped out, and they were like, you know what? We actually found someone better to do this.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm sorry. Well, to be fair, there's nothing signed. So
yeah.
And then at the time, I already resigned. So
oh no!
And then I was like, oh no, what should I do? And then this friend of mine, the one that keep telling me about the pop-up, actually called me and say, do you want to take my spot? Because I'm thinking of getting another spot to do pop-up. And I was like, there's no other option for me. So I just took it. And then I took it. And then very fortunate as well that one of my close friend that also recently just quit Kisume joined me and want to do this together.
And
then
was the
we
name
started
of that?
Of the place.
The pop-up, yeah.
The pop-up name is Ray.
That's right. Yes.
That's and the bar is Bonnie Bar in Fitzroy.
Did you feel like you had to have an offering like sorted because going forward that would be your thing? Was it, or did it all just come really naturally to you?
So, because this one is so this is not like a story where you step out and you want to do like what you always want to do. Like at the time, it was about like survival.
Yes. Right.
Even when I started the brand, to put it like in the worst way, who knows? I'm not famous, people don't know me.
Yeah.
So what should I do to make people know me at the time and what I do and believe in what I do? At the time, I only have me, myself, and my partner, and my friend that happened to work with James at the time. That eventually became my business partner as well. So I just share with them what my vision is and what I want to do. But in the meantime, I said, in this pop-up, we just have to survive and save money.
So what did you do?
So we just did the pop-up and whatever that they asked us to do, like the steak nights, like to get all the money from the pop-up. We do whatever that, like, because they do, their concept is gastro bar. So we just try to make like bar snacks, whatever works with the drinks and everything, and try to be support of the space and everything. And then we were quite lucky. I think one of the food influencer at the time, maybe quite influential in Melbourne dining scene, came in, and then she was quite happy, and then the place was booming after that, not long after. And then we were lucky, and then can save some money, and then because it was quite sudden, it was quite scary. And then once we getting to, I'd say, okay stage, I spoke with two of them, and I say, I think it's time for us to do the brand that I always want to do. So that brand is Sachi, my first restaurant. So Sachi comes from the word happiness. Sachi itself means happiness, but it comes from a phrase in Japanese, umi no sachi, which means treasure from the sea. And it comes from the idea when I went to Hokkaido, 2014, I believe. I went to this small city, Hakodate, got $7 chirashi don, like sashimi don, with like the best seafood in the world. Crazy. And then I said, I remember when I had that, I was very happy. So I want to do that as well. How can I combine my knowledge of working in a bigger establishment, amazing seafood, amazing supplier, and how can we make it a place where people can go there every day in Melbourne? Because I remember back then, most of the restaurant, the good sushi restaurant are omakase, 200 plus, $300 per person, which is obviously there's a reason why, good hospitality, good produce, but how can I make some sort of a bridge? You know, you cannot go there every day, right? I mean, if it's me, maybe someone else can. So how can I make a place where myself, I can go every day? So that's where Sachi comes from. And then at the time, I got no space. I don't know where I should do it. And then my current business partner, or back then just a friend of mine, actually offered his space. Currently now Atsu. Back then was something else. And told me that you can use Tuesday and Wednesday because I closed during those days. And you can do this brand to do a pop-up. So 3 of us with whatever that we can get from the pop-up, buy the first 8 plates and the seafood, and then get the 8 customer, and then the next sales we do buy another plate, and then the next one we buy cutleries. Previously we just borrow the cutleries.
Wow.
We just keep doing it. You just keep doing it, and then Valentine's, and then we got I'd say pretty good sales at the time. And then one guy come and then say, "How about you use my restaurant? Because I don't think I will continue this restaurant." Oh, why? Oh, because we are moving. So you can use the restaurant. Only 6 months. You can take the lease out of me. Then we moved there to Hawthorne. That's the second Sachi pop-up in Hawthorne. It was supposed to be for 6 months, end up a year and 3 months, I think. And then during the time, we just keep doing what we do, eventually save money, and then can take a lease in the city and build the restaurant, and voila, that's where the journey started.
Wow. And when did Atsu and Common Cuts come along?
Yeah, I can say both of them comes because some unfortunate events that happened with Sachi as well.
Oh.
You know, this is a funny story, like when you share with friends, but I don't know, for podcasts, it's something that I think a lot of people can relate this because, you know, when you build a restaurant, there's always something going on.
Yes.
Right? When you expect that, when you try to plan everything perfectly and then you will never know what's gonna hit you. So Sachi actually was delayed for a good 7 to 8 months for the construction. During that time, we already have to pay rent. So we had to pay 2 venue rent with 1 sales. So obviously it was quite painful. So during the time when Hawthorne ended, we don't know where to go. Shop is not ready. And my friend, the one that gave me the place, Atsu, the spot before, he said that, you know what? You can take the spot because I'm closing my bar anyway.
Yeah.
So at the time, we moved there. We moved everything from Hawthorne. So instead of like planning of moving from Hawthorne to city, because they're not ready, we have to move everything to Carlton. And then we open. After we open, we keep like extending and extending because of the construction, right? And then my friend was like, I understood. You know, I have a shop as well. I understand. You can use. And he's been very supportive. He's a very good friend of mine as well. And eventually, we got the place ready. And then I said to him, his name is Kantaro. I said to Kantaro, you know, it sounds always silly when I say this, but when I grow up, my dad always telling me this thing about energy within the space and how if the energy works well with you, you can feel it yourself. And I feel like that space, I said to him, keeps calling me like to do things together, and I feel like we can do things amazingly together. So I told him this. We were just having a coffee for a good 15 minutes. He was very busy. I mean, he's still busy now. And I was also busy. And then we were like, how about we do things together there? I said to him. And he just said, done. And then 3 months after, we opened Atsu.
Wow.
It's just very spontaneous idea. We thought, what I said to him, I want to do something that, you know, make the place feel vibrant. Like what kind of food, like comfortable, you can eat anytime, and easier operation that like restaurant, but can focus on something. And then he came to me and say, maybe revolve around like something that we can, eat with the drinks as well and highballs. And we thought, okay, let's do katsu.
Yes.
And then we try to approach it from a different point of view. We do the skewers as well, and we try to have 2 different breadcrumbs for different proteins to kind of like, again, bring up the best of the ingredients. So some of the proteins we use thicker one, some of the ingredients we use slightly thinner one, or the other one. So we just try to use like few different breadcrumbs, try to highlight that, and also have a place where we can highlight, of course, highballs as well. And the place just look amazing.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do a lot of things there. So
It's
we were
very,
very fortunate.
it's very light
Yeah.
and lofty. It's nice going
very,
up those stairs
very
and coming
fortunate.
into that space. Yeah.
Space itself already amazing. And
Yeah.
common cuts was because of the memory in Boni when I did the gastropub.
Yeah, right.
I was like, you know what? I never knew that I would like it this much.
Yeah.
I think I want to open a gastropub. That's what I thought at first,
Yeah.
a gastropub. And then we were looking for the space, and then we got some space, we put the deposit down, got rejected, refunded, got a place, put the deposit down, got rejected again, refunded again, like 2-3 times, and then we got offered this place.
Yeah.
And when I step in, I can feel it straight away.
Yeah.
They were like, this place is like, Reki, take me.
Yeah.
Let's do this together. And then it was quite, I'd say, messy when we take it, because they paint some stuff on the walls and everything. And then I told my business partner, I said, let's just redo this, make it a bit more like, like music oriented, because we love music, all of us. And then brought our own collection and then play the music here. And maybe we can put DJ here. Oh, let's put DJ here. And then what do we sell? And then I said, look, I did Ray pop-up 4 residencies on 4 different places. And steak has always been the one that, people always love.
Yeah.
And then at the time, I think the movement in New York and all around the world was about steak frites.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to do steak nights. I want to do whole week steak night.
Yeah.
So try to source the ingredient so that I can sell it at $28.5 every day,
Wow.
Monday to Sunday, and we give them like the best that we can give. And then I was lucky enough to have my business partner also that is trained very well in Italian cuisine. And then I asked him can you do lasagna as well?
Wow.
I feel like steak, lasagna, it's gonna be very good in the city. And then he's like, yeah, let's do it. And then common cuts here.
It's so cool.
It's super.
You've got an empire.
Nah. No, I would say, people always say this, but I feel like throughout all the journey, I was just lucky. I think I was surrounded by very good people. And I think those good people have the same vision as me. And when you have a lot of people with the same vision as you, it's so easy to move. It's so easy.
And what was behind your decision to step away from the pans, to stop cooking and be an owner rather than an owner chef?
I always think, cooking is like my relaxation.
Okay.
Every now and then, if I feel like, I want to take a break, I would ask someone to go home and I just jump in.
Okay.
I love cooking.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy cooking, but we can never have a stronger team if they never be on the line, if they never experience what I experience.
Yeah.
So I thought it's the best for me to step away and guide, and then those people can guide the next one, and
Right.
those people can guide the next one. I feel like that's the system that will make our group stronger.
Yeah.
And lucky enough, we have been very fortunate to have a lot of young professionals that really have the same vision as us, want to push this together, and of course, be rewarded. Because the way I want to do it is like every time we open, I want to give opportunity for those young professionals that want to step up in the
Yeah.
game, and able to give them the opportunity.
It's a wise move to do that as well. It's very sustainable for you as a chef as well, because being on your feet all day, every day,
Yeah,
you can't do that forever. And I know there are people that do, but
it is definitely hard, hard. But somehow it's, when you step out and you do whatever that you need to do as a business owner, you will miss it.
yes,
You will miss it the most. I can
Yeah.
say that the world seems like lighter when I was just on the line. But now that I have not literally 70 people on my back now, my entire employees, and you need to make sure that they able to be employed, and provide to their family.
yeah,
That's bigger pressure.
That's huge.
I'd say that's the big pressure that the business owners or small business owners have that they never mention.
yes,
Those ones.
exactly right. The responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility, and able to just try your best and sacrifice to make sure that all your employees live.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you learn all the business side of things?
I'd say I don't get tutored directly.
Yeah.
By any business owners. I was trying to take bits and pieces throughout my career. I was very fortunate to be able to work very closely with most of the owners of the establishment that I work with. I'd say maybe not the closest when I was at Lucas Restaurant. The company was growing at the time to be like now, but some of the decisions of Chris Lucas made that I can fully understand the reason why he does that. And most of the small business owner that I also used to work with, I was fortunate that they're able to explain to me why they do what they do. So eventually when I was at Lucas restaurants, I can totally understand why they do what they do. Because some people can always see it from different perspectives, but the way I see it, I can imagine that you have, I don't know, thousands of employees, and then whatever decision that you have to make, you won't be able to please everyone,
No.
right? But I'm pretty sure the decision is already considered to do the best for most of us, and to be able to do that, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So I have a huge respect always for him and all other business owners as well, that the sacrifice that they do. Obviously, after now I become one of them.
Yes.
Oh, I can feel it. That, oh my God, it's hard, but it's rewarding somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm a father myself.
Yes.
So I can totally try to relate my shops as like my kids.
Yes.
And the way I treat it as well. And I can totally understand, you can never love one more than the others.
Yeah.
Those kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And how can you make a decision to make sure that most of them are happy, sometimes take the sacrifice of being hated, for your decision, and then until like 6 months after they realize that, oh, you know what, it's actually a good decision, and now we can do this. It's always like this, and yeah, I'd say I've been fortunate enough to learn. But I never get tutored directly. I think my dad was not also in the business. My dad was a professional, and but he gave me a lot of advice about how I can say executives' point of view on making decisions, and then I can try to relate with that and what happened in reality as well.
So with all that in mind, and now you've had quite the journey, what would your advice be to a young person starting out as a chef?
I think everyone have different personality.
Yeah.
And everyone have different goal as well. I'd say always just focus on the goal, and always remember yourself as well. Try to set up a different goals, like a short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, and just try to focus on that. When things are tough, usually you're in the right way, because if it's easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
I think just never give up, because you will never know what's going to happen, and just keep good people around you. You will never know, because some people that I work with in my early career 15 years ago now work with me. You will never know. You just try to get yourself surrounded by good people. I think when you have good people, you can achieve anything. Skill you can learn always, but it's very hard to be surrounded by good people. I think I'm been very fortunate enough. Like now, my entire team are all good people. Lucky.
It's great advice.
Super lucky.
It's just ticked over to 5 o'clock and people are pouring in the door. It's already getting quite busy, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Reki Reinantha from Sachi, Atsu and Common Cuts. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at sachi.melb, that's sachi.melb, at atsu.melb, atsu.melb, or at commoncuts.melb. Better still, head into the restaurants to experience it all for yourselves. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read this chat online at, you guessed it, www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. I'd absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. I still think it's the best way to get these delicious stories out into the world. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.